Sean Connery and Alec Baldwin on the submarine set of The Hunt for Red October, Los Angeles, 1989. Betty and Rosella Nelson view the body of John Dillinger at the Cook County Morgue in Chicago. John Dillinger was an American criminal who was perhaps the most famous bank robber in United States history. 1934. An Irish traveler family photographed in Killorglin, County Kerry, Ireland, 1954. A dapper fellow with a team of 3 female stylists, 1900. Man among alligators and caimans in a terrarium, Florence, Italy, 1900. Chicago Bears Dick Butkus and Gail Sayers at charity event, 1965. During World War II, Maharaja Jam Sahib Digvijay Singhji Ranjit Singhji of Nawanagar, Gujarat, saved over 1,000 Polish children and women refugees by providing shelter, education, and food in the Balachadi camp, 1942, 1946, 1906. Ernest Archdeacon, middle left, and Alessandro Anzani, middle right, pose with the propeller-driven Aero motorcyclette. A studio shot of 2 women posing for the camera circa 1880s. Glass negative. Women finishing their shift at Todd Erie Dry Dock in Pennsylvania, 1943, during World War II. The place where people who had lost everything during the Depression lived, early 1930s, Hoovervilles. Photo of a rubber plantation worker of the Belgian Congo by anti-slavery English missionary Alice Seeley Harris, circa 1898. Photo from the Titanic movie set, 1997. Albert Einstein at his home in Princeton, New Jersey, chatting with his friend Bronisław Huberman, a Polish violinist, 1937. Gunner Hector Murdoch arrives at his new prefabricated house in Tulsa Hill, London, 1945, greeted by his wife and son. Marilyn Monroe snacks on a carrot as she reads a script in bed at the Hotel Bel Air, Los Angeles, 1952. (1943). When there's no beach handy, New York City residents sunbathe on their rooftop. A German medic treating a wounded British soldier during the 1942 Dieppe raid. This photo was later used for propaganda. Jane Fonda shopping at a Mayfair supermarket in the 1960s. Wood frame house exposed to a nuclear blast at the Nevada test site. The test was Upshot Knothole Annie, a 16-kiloton tower shot on March 17, 1953. The house is 1,100 meters from ground zero. This is what a lot of hospital rooms looked like in the 1950s. Alice's Adventure in Wonderland, 1910. The second girl to play Alice was Gladys Hewlett, 1896-1991. It is a 10-minute black and white silent film made in the United States in 1910. A woman removes a portrait of Hitler from the wall of a Protestant church in Frankfurt. 1945. The church was used by the Nazis as a party headquarters. A poster on the right warns against indiscreet conversations among civilians. 13 sons, one family photo. In 1955, the Harrison family of Jonesboro, Tennessee became known as America's largest all-boy family, a sight that turned them into a mid-century curiosity. Silly picture of dog, 1875. Zulus line up behind European officers in Natal during the war against other tribes, 1899. Nubar Gulbenkian, eccentric son of oil tycoon Calouste Gulbenkian, lover of orchids, gold-plated taxis, gourmet feasts, MI9 wartime espionage, and lavish parties taking a stroll by the Ritz in 1967. Suffragists march in Washington for women's rights. March 3, 1913. Circus clowns backstage, 1940. Werner von Braun, director of NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, at his office in Huntsville, Alabama, 1965. Young Tom Hanks photographed in Oakland, 1972. Cute child in leather satchel. Anne Frank ice skating in the Vondelpark in Amsterdam with her friends in the winter of 1941. A few months later, Jews were forbidden to enter all public parks. '19th century Russian girl in national costume. Child of the Berberov family with lion. Soviet Baku, modern-day Azerbaijan, 1970s. Bad Girls, London, 1950s. A lemonade seller in Cairo offers glasses of lemonade on small brass trays, 1905. An American soldier smoking on a ledge overlooking the German town of Cochem, January 9, 1919. The handshake from the North Vietnamese communist was rejected by the South Vietnamese soldiers, Saigon, 1973. Vera Ellen, 1955. The unveiling of the snow cruiser in model form at Chicago, July 14, 1939, by its designer, Dr. Thomas Poulter. Little girl roaring at a stuffed grizzly bear at the Sportsman's Show in the Chicago Coliseum, Chicago, Illinois, 1967. Mrs. Gertrude Schilling at Ascot, June 1971. Photo of Italian nationalist Gabriele D'Annunzio giving a speech to his legionaries in Fiume, now Rijeka, after the successful takeover of the city from Entente troops. He was known to give energetic public speeches. 1919. Radiation-contaminated vehicles and military equipment which had been used for the cleanup in the aftermath of the Chernobyl disaster. Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, Ukraine, c. 1993. In 1931, two psychologists, Winthrop and Luella Kellogg, began an experiment to see if a chimpanzee could learn human behavior by raising it with their own baby. A boy stands next to two giant lobsters caught off the coast of New Jersey, 1915. Liquidators responding to Chernobyl disaster in April 1986 improvised protective armor from lead sheets to cover the body in front and behind. In 1921, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, white Americans attacked the rich and predominantly black neighborhood of Greenwood for 2 days. No compensations were made and none of the white attackers were arrested. Priests salute Hitler during a Catholic youth rally. Berlin, 1933. "82-year-old tightrope walker Ivy Baldwin crosses a dam in Colorado, 1948. Chris Evans, Stalin's granddaughter, daughter of Svetlana Alliluyeva from Portland, United States. Circa 1968, a 2-year-old spreads her paint liberally during an art class in London for young children. Castro in the Northern Fleet, Murmansk region. Soviet TB-3 bomber made an emergency landing in a field, 1941. Women and children of the Marquesas Islands prepare dinner, 1923. Downtown Burlington in the 1921 flood. Syd Barrett laying on his 1959 Pontiac Parisienne in London, 1969. The American aircraft carrier USS Wasp, CV-7, burns after being hit by 3 torpedoes from the Japanese submarine I-19 east of the Solomon Islands on September 15, 1942. British models try Soviet ice cream in Moscow, 1956. An American flag sits atop Mount Suribachi soon after being raised there by 6 United States Marines during the Battle of Iwo Jima on February 23, 1945. James Dean signs autographs while sitting in a trash can on the set for Rebel Without a Cause, California, 1955. A crab attacks a boy buried in the sand, 1959. From the 1981 production Flick Flack by Andre Heller, featuring artwork by Roland Topor. (1910) Imperial German Hussars. Crowd of men at employment office desk during Great Depression. U.S. Army Corporal Larry Matinsk puts cigarettes into the extended hands of newly liberated prisoners behind a stockade in the Munich Allach concentration camp in Allach-Untermenzing, Germany, on April 30, 1945. A skinhead is escorted away by a police officer in 1980. The words "Made in London" and a cross are tattooed on his shaved scalp. A very fetching example of early Soviet amoeba-style camouflage, introduced in the late 1930s. A Vichy alpine rifleman practices shooting from ropes slung between rocks, 1942. Volunteers prepare to distribute tea to people taking shelter in North London during Blitz, World War II. Joan Trumpauer Mulholland was arrested for protesting in 1961. She was tested for mental illness because law enforcement couldn't think why a white woman would want civil rights. Victims of the Ottoman Empire, Sheksalan, Armenia, 1915. The crash site of the XB-29 bomber prototype at the Fry & Company meatpacking plant in Seattle, 1943. Gypsy Woman with Children, Holland, 1930s. Hurricane Andrew hit South Florida in 1992, with wind speeds as high as 160 miles per hour. London schoolgirls protest against corporal punishment, 1972. Cab stand at Madison Square, New York, circa 1900. Half of the team that created Batman, Bob Kane poses with some of his illustrations, 1966. Actress Tina Louise, late 1950s. An eager schoolboy gets his first experience in using War Ration Book 2. With many parents engaged in war work, children are being taught the facts of point rationing for helping out in family marketing. 1943. Linda Carter, 1980s. EC 1930s Jewish Berber woman, Morocco. Moving a 7,600-ton residential building to create a boulevard in Alba Iulia, Romania, 1987. The Korean umbrella, 20th century. Actress Mona Arvidsson posing with a Ferrari 375 MEM at the Cannes Film Festival in 1957 in France. PSA flight attendants, 1970s. A French M8 Greyhound armored car passes through the village of Blesheim, 1944. Seattle Potlatch Parade showing people wearing totem pole costumes, 1912. An adult male from the Andaman Islands engaged in crafting a rope or a tool, 1890s. Members of the National Guard injured 9 students at Kent State University during the campus protest against the Vietnam War on 4th May 1970. A descendant of the Kshatriya caste. India, 19th century. While filming the wreck of the Titanic, the movie set was inverted to ease lighting and camera angles, 1997. Opening ceremony of the Jefferson City, Missouri River Bridge, 1896. A soldier's Polaroid of Marilyn Monroe visiting the troops in Korea. She was the most beautiful, refreshing sight most of those men had seen in months. 1954. A German pilot training session in Sicily. A German pilot explains to his comrades how to attack an American B-24 Liberator bomber in a Messerschmitt Bf 109. A model of the B-24 shows the firing arcs of the onboard machine guns. 1943. Beauty contestants in Galveston, Texas, 1920s. Scores of houses have been surrounded by muddy floodwater, which has forced more than 2,000 people to flee their homes along the flood-swollen Illinois River, 1979. A criminal is confined in a special device as punishment. China, 19th century. Ed Gein being led away from his home after his arrest. Two terrified black American girls flee police officers during a race riot in the Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood of Brooklyn, itself sparked by rioting over police brutality in nearby Harlem on July 21, 1964. Eiffel Tower made of buckets, basins, and cans, Russia, 1911, West Siberian exhibition in Omsk. Italian mountaineer Reinhold Messner on Annapurna's unclimbed northwest face, 1985. He would summit the frozen face despite a storm on April 24th. Photo of Jeffrey Dahmer at high school with a fellow student. A Free French soldier aids a civilian after hidden German snipers fire on crowds welcoming Allied forces rather than follow orders to surrender Paris, 1944. The Summer of Love, 1967. Hippie and Haight-Ashbury, San Francisco. Clothing confiscated from prisoners of the Dachau concentration camp before they were sent to the crematorium, 1945. Sea baths, 1910s. Teddy Roosevelt crossing a river riding a moose, 1912. December 30th, 1991. A Georgian fighter with an AK-47 rifle waits behind a corner in Tbilisi during confrontations between partisans and anti-Gamsakhurdia groups during the Georgian Civil War. Josephine Bois-de-Chêne, also known as Madame Clofulia, 1829-1870, was a famous Swiss sideshow performer who was born with a form of hirsutism. The sinking of Amoco Cadiz in Brittany, 1978. Mint St. Helens, May 18, 1980. Oxford University students celebrate the end of exams, 1976. The fate and feet of three Chinese girls, a barefooted slave, a girl with bound feet, and a Christian with unbound feet, circa early 1900s. Rickshaws in the streets of Korea, 1945. Rita Hayworth with her mother, 1942. Sami Group, early 1900s in Lavo tents in Tromsdalen. Abakovsky's Arrow Wagon at the Tula train station before its final journey. The Ainu people of Japan and eastern Russia, noted for their prolific facial hair, circa 1930. bride and groom drink from large mugs at their wedding. A fully functional miniature Cadillac built for the children of the royal family of Siam, 1913. Russian strongman Samson, also known as Alexander Zas, 1910s. Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat celebrates with Saddam Hussein following the Iraqi occupation of Kuwait, August 1990. Part of Josef Kudelka's 1967 photo essay titled Gypsies, photographed in Zara, Czechoslovakia. Women at the Jukebox during New Year's Eve party in Tallahassee, Florida, 1956. Hooverville, Great Depression, Siren, 1936. (2000) Intifada, Jerusalem,